What's up? It's your boy Heaven Hollywood back on IE Network. This is the Heaven Hollywood Report, and let's get to it. Shout out to my sponsor, in case you didn't know, that's icydk.blog. Make sure you check them out on the World Wide Web and all mobile devices. And let's get it kicked off with Ime Udoka. Now, Ime Udoka is the head coach of the Boston Celtics. And Mr. Udoka finds himself in a little bit of trouble. Okay, this article in Black Sports Online says head coach Ime Udoka is facing suspension as he was in an improper, intimate, and consensual relationship with a female member of the team staff. Now, it is deemed as a violation of the franchise code of conduct. So this is a suspension that could go down. It could be, they're talking about behind the scenes, maybe a suspension of the entire season. Now, and that's not even the crazy part. The craziest part is Ime Udoka is the common law husband of Nia Long. That's right, the Nia Long. Every black teenage boy's dream growing up in the 90s. Nia Long. This man has been with Nia Long over a decade. He got to go home and lay up under Nia Long's titties every night. And this dude still, it wasn't enough for him. Now, I'm sure Nia Long is aware of it now. I'm pretty sure that after all of this comes out, we'll see if Nia leaves Ime. But how do you fumble the Nia Long bag? I'm telling you, man, these dudes just... Nia Long? People, these dudes these days are out of line. They're cheating on Beyonce. They're cheating on Nia Long. Dudes are cheating on Rihanna. It just goes to show, man, no matter how fine you are, there is a dude somewhere tired of your ass. But how do you get tired of Nia Long? I'm just going to blame that on him. That's trifling. That's trifling. Remember Toni Braxton's ex-husband cheated on her? Like, what? Man, if I had Toni Braxton, I'd never leave the freaking house. Yes, ma'am, Miss Toni. Whatever you want. So we're going to find out how long is this suspension. Remember, the Boston Celtics were just in the Eastern Conference Finals. And so we're going to find out how long the suspension is for Ime Udoka, and we're going to be keeping our eye on to make sure to see when Nia Long starts putting thirst traps up. That's when you know she's single. Moving on to your boy, I Am Mike Tyson. Now, he was on an interview with Angie Martinez and Fat Joe, and he told a story that even I didn't know. He told a story with Angie Martinez and he had Fat Joe tell the story about a time that Remy Ma and Fat Joe came out to Mike Tyson's mansion. And just take a listen to Mike Tyson and Fat Joe and what happened when Remy Ma and Fat Joe went to Mike Tyson's house.
Joe, we got to tell this story, and it's an old story, so nobody should get mad. Please.
This was one I never told this
Please.
one, so we can talk about
yes,
this?
Yes, please.
Mike invites me to the house, and he says, bring Remy Ma with you. We go to the house. He opens the door butt naked, right? So I'm like, yo, Mike, you want the story or not? There was a chick in every room. In every fucking room, jacuzzi, this. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I am Mike. You want me to finish the story?
Please.
He said
I don't know if it's right.
I believe him.
He wanted to keep Remy Ma, right?
You can't
And he made offers like he showed us some convertible Benz new shit. He was like, you can keep this. Mike, we can't do that. We can't. Mike, my sister, he said, well, come on, Joe. I was like, you can't do this. He offered us some fucking 500 Benz this. I was like, oh my God. Hey, yo, that was a great time, Mike.
I had a wonderful time with you.
I and Mike wanted to clap Remy Ma's cheeks. And I tell you, and leave it up to Remy to spoil everything. I mean, come on, Remy. Back in them days, all the ladies wanted to sleep with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was knocking down Naomi Campbell, crazy models, actresses, Robin Gibbons. Who is Remy Ma to deny Mike Tyson them cheeks in the 90s? Come on, Remy. I was just love for one person that I know to be able to tell me how Remy Ma's cheeks was. Because Remy always wanted to try to act like, oh, she's such a non... Listen, have an affair. Act like an adult for once. I mean, come on. Oh, Joe, get me out of this house. Oh, come on. What? That's what Remy said. Joe, get me out of this house. In a mansion, jacuzzi in every room, and you gonna tell Joe to get you out of this house? Remy, you messed everything up. And I love when Mike Tyson said, it's an old story, so nobody get mad. You know, papoose. Moving on to this clown, DJ Fakademiks. Akademiks, sorry about that. I said Fatademics, but I made a mistake. Akademiks. I misread it. So he was probably on his podcast. I guess he was on his podcast, running his mouth. You know, it's a shame that we have now given this man the platform to be the voice of the new generation. Because the rhetoric that he spits, they're going to start believing. He made a comment about the forefathers of rap or hip-hop and basically saying that they shouldn't even really speak on it because most of them look dusty when you see them. You speaking on brothers who look like they're doing way better than you. Them old niggas, he said, y'all be looking dusty. So LLCool J heard that, an older rapper who was far from dusty. LLCool J heard that and he did not take too kindly to Akademiks' words. So finally an OG steps up and checks Akademiks. An OG that has more money than Akademiks, so it's somebody that he would have to respect. See, he only seems to respect people that got more money than him. But we're going to let LL break down this fool, and then we're going to come back and unpack.
That's what it is. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Them old rappers, man, them niggas... Bro, have you seen any of these old rappers who be like, yo, they're the foundation of hip-hop, really living good? Them niggas be looking really dusty. I kid you not. And none of y'all try to comfort me because I don't fuck with y'all niggas either. So I'm just tell y'all the truth. Y'all be looking like, every time there be like an old nigga talking about hip-hop, you be like, yo, bro, you sure you invented this? Because everybody else living better than you.
It came to my attention that a DJ, and I'm not going to say any names because I don't think it's necessary. A DJ basically said that, you know, a lot of the pioneers in hip hop are, you know, they're dusty, or how can they be the person that, you know, invented hip hop if, you know, they don't have a lot of money. Or if they don't look or represent like they have a lot of dough, right? Let me explain something to you, and say this for you guys. Don't confuse someone's ability to develop a business model. Don't conflate. In other words, don't think just because somebody knows how to get money or fails to get money that they didn't make a contribution to the culture. No one discusses Miles Davis's bank account. We don't talk about John Coltrane's bank account. We don't talk about A lot of even rock musicians, a lot of them, we don't talk about their bank accounts. A lot of great country artists, we don't talk about their bank accounts. This idea that you have to have money or else you don't have any value is a bad idea, and it's kind of like, it's a misinformed way of looking at the world and the culture. There are artists out here. First of all, let me say this. First of all, like, let's talk about like young artists, right? Who I love. I love the young artists. Let's be clear. I'm very much a guy who embraces the young artists. I believe in every generation. I believe in you. I care about you. Let me say this to you though. Today, you could come up with your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan, your 20-year plan. You can go find a manager. You can find an accountant. You could find somebody that means something to you, to help you. You could find a team to help your career go to the next level. When hip hop first started, there were no managers. There were no accountants that believed in it. Record companies didn't even believe in it. Nobody believed in it. How can you make a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan on something that doesn't even exist yet, that people have never even heard of? So just because a couple of these guys and girls and people out here made songs and made music and made contributions to this culture, or even dancers danced and made these contributions to culture, just because they didn't get rich, just because they weren't able to pile up millions or billions of dollars, does not mean that they didn't make a contribution to this culture. That does not mean that they didn't do something. They created an industry that we all ate off of. They created an industry that you eat off of. When you go out there and you go monetize your brand, when you go get your whatever and do what you got to do to build your career, when you go out there and negotiate your deals and negotiate your checks and talk tough, guess what? That money, that bread, that food that you eating was created by those same people that you disrespecting. That industry was created by them same people that you call in, foul words, foul language. The people that you're referring to. So my thing is this. It's always good. It's always good to get money. It's always important. It's important. It's important to get money. I agree. I'm all about getting paper. I've been talking about it my whole career. But don't ever, ever, ever confuse being rich with making a contribution to our culture. Don't ever play yourself like that again. Because trust me, you playing yourself. Because without these dudes and these girls who started this hip hop culture, a lot of the guys that's out there talking tough, you wouldn't even have a career. We'd be on the corner with a beer talking about what's the next move we gonna make. So I would say, approach this game with humility and be glad and be thankful that these pioneers, slave mentality. Be glad that these pioneers help create this culture. And let's show them love. Let's elevate them. Let's celebrate them. That's why I started Rock the Bells. That's why I started this movement. So I wouldn't have to listen to foolish rhetoric about people that changed the world. These people changed the entire world. The whole planet runs on hip hop culture right now. The whole planet. Every commercial, everything you could think of is all about hip hop. And there are people out there that started this thing, and I think that they deserve to be honored and respected. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not going to say no names. I'm not going to say nothing foul. I'm not going to go at nobody's character. I'm just going to say, think before you speak. Peace.
Thank you for that, L. I'm just sitting here getting emotional. when I think about all of the people that started this hip hop thing that really was talented and really put in work and never got a chance to reap the benefits that people like this untalented fat loser who has only made it big from exploiting and help destroy our culture and help destroy our youth and help destroy black men. He got rich and famous off of it. And the people who enabled him to sit in that very lane that he's sitting in, the lane that he claims he created for himself. No, brother, you didn't create that lane for yourself. That lane that you're in was created by the people who came before you. The ones that worked hard and slaved for this hip hop thing to even still be in existence 40 years later, when they said it wouldn't last 10 years. I'm so glad LL Cool stood up and said something. Because those same guys who you're calling dusty, people like DJ K Slade, people like Curtis Blow, people like DJ Red Alert, who may not have not been able to monetize and make the money that you're making because of them. But if it wasn't for those dusty old niggas, as you said, you wouldn't be able to sit your untalented fat ass up behind a goddamn computer and make millions of dollars. It's just sickening how nobody checks this fat fool. You think because you're made millions of dollars off and they didn't, that you're smarter than them? That you're more talented than them? That you're more hip hop than them? You disgusting piece of garbage. I thank LL Cool J. Because nobody else acts like, everybody acts like they're scared to check this dude. Because he feels as though if he's making more money than you, that's always his argument. That's always his argument. Oh, I make more money than you niggas done your whole career. And then these guys who he's calling Dusty, that created his lane, has to sit up and listen to him be the voice of the new generation. And they have them thinking that these old rappers are dusty, that these old dancers are dusty, these old producers are dusty. Because he's the voice, there's the one that's been crowned the voice of the new generation. How in the hell we crown someone who knows nothing about rap or the hip-hop culture? How we allow him to be the voice of the new generation, I have no idea. That is a bad job by us. And then those forefathers, those guys who came before you, they have to die and get GoFundMe accounts started for them and get laughed at and get made fun of. He's got a GoFundMe. He didn't have any money. Like El said, there was no internet to monetize your material, DJ Akademiks. There was no social media, DJ Akademiks. So you're not smarter than them. You're not more talented than them. Brother, you're just luckier than them. And like El said, you better get humble. Because God gave you all that. As much as you think you gave it to yourself. Those brothers and sisters that came before you gave you that lane you're in right now. And God. And as quick as you got it, your fat ass can have it taken from you. Just fat nigga off my screen.